for me to sit down, post. Hi guys, my name is Rain, and today I want us to have a conversation about self-love in your 20s and navigating your 20s. From challenges to lessons learned, and I'm also going to share some tips that help me be better than I was yesterday, because granted, there's been a lot of change, I would say. So for those who know me, I moved to the US when I was 15 years old. And in that moment, when I got to my 20s, I had to unlearn certain things, like pleasing people and trying to make people happy. Then I also needed to learn how to figure out who I am, who is Rain, who is really this person, right? I hit a point in my life where I realized that I was pouring so much into others and not leaving anything for myself. I was basically empty, which was very frustrating and draining on me mentally, even physically and emotionally, where I would see myself be depressed and down, and it was just not a healthy space for me. And that's why I started prioritizing self-love, not just as a trend, but as a lifestyle, as a priority. So the first thing I really learned in my 20s is that it's not about the people around you. Keep your circles small. I know, like, people who really know me know that I'm very much of a socialite. I would call everybody a friend. I have so many people who know me, but granted, as I grow a little older, I am noticing that my circle is becoming a little smaller and smaller, and I actually do not regret it, because I feel like it's given a healthier platform for me to get to know my own person. It's not about the amount of people around you that are going to uplift you and make you feel better about yourself, because I do know, as an only child, it can be very comforting for me to have people around me, and also like just have that company to like just fill a void which I should be feeling by my own self. And also, having to maintain so many friendships can be very draining and emotionally frustrating, and that's why I had to learn to let go. And trust and believe, when I say let go, it's not easy. It's very hard, because you've built attachments with these people, and having to just kind of take that piece of you out can be hard, but that piece never belonged. I don't know if that makes sense, but it should. Basically just letting go of things that are not meant for you. The second thing I learned in my 20s is learning how to say no. Granted, I'm a person that says it frequently, but I am also learning to not do it in such a mean way or a condescending way that can hurt people emotionally, because I do tend to do that. But that's something we're working on. I am a work in progress. And also, I still have a difficult time right now still saying no to people, and also cutting off some people who are not necessary in my life or should not be a priority, or for I to not prioritize. Third lesson will be celebrating your small wins. Now, your 20s can be very hard for some people in different classes, obviously. As for me, I didn't grow up with as much privilege as some people. I am still happy for whatever God has given me, because I feel blessed. I don't want to change my experiences for anything in the world. But celebrating your small wins, even if it's just you conquering one thing that like you have tried to conquer, just saying and giving yourself affirmations. Like, take for example, having to cut off a friend or cut off people from your life, or setting certain boundaries in your life, and finally feeling that weight off. You should celebrate that, because it's the hardest thing. Now, it's not something that is physically strenuous. I mean, granted, for some people it could be physically strenuous, but it's emotionally draining and can put you in such a bad mental state that can honestly be detrimental. So just having to conquer that and overcoming certain things is a great thing to celebrate. I personally think that's what has been helping me, because I will give myself my own flowers, because I will toot my own horn, because I know my shortcomings and I know how it feels to overcome them, and it's a great feeling. So the next thing I also try to do is practicing some other self-loving tips, like journaling. Now, writing is not my best suit. I do not like to sit down and write, but the first time I actually picked a book up and wrote, I felt like a weight was taken off my chest. Like, I don't know how to explain it. There are certain things that you think and you want to go give it to people or talk to people. Currently, right now, as we speak, I am going through something that doesn't need to be disclosed, but I am going through something where I feel as though journaling has been helping me cope, and I personally also feel grow, because usually I can be very hostile to some people but usually I can come off a little strong to some people, and having to journal out my feelings about certain situation has allowed me not to address certain situations that don't need to be addressed, and it has also helped me gain more clarity. Also, the next thing is spending alone time. When I say I have not loved my bed as much as I have loved it in the past 6 months, you guys don't understand. Now, granted, I love going out with my friends. I do love going out with people, but spending alone time, just being in my own comfort, like staying at home and maybe watching a movie, not necessarily talking on the phone, or just being in my own space, going on a coffee date by myself, exploring things, trying to find other interests of mine that doesn't necessarily have to be related to other people. Just doing things on my own has been such a good thing. And granted, it can be scary because it's just like going, because I have anxiety. I'm very scared of going in places that I'm not, comfortable with. But I've been doing that, taking myself on dates, trying new things, trying pizza places, going to art museums, or just walking around, just sitting in the park and journaling, or just sitting people watching. Sounds crazy, but yeah, just like people watching can be very therapeutic, I think. And it's really like a good way to get to know yourself, because we might think that we got everything figured out. Trust me, you don't got everything figured out. Even at the age of 50, people still learn things. People are still learning to know who they've evolved to be. And like I mentioned previously, when you celebrate every win, you're giving yourself positive affirmations. Always try to uplift yourself. Always try to get up from a low place and go higher, because sitting in your pain and detriment, it's meh, it's exhausting. And just give myself positive affirmation. Some people will say I'm a very happy person. I'm always jolly, I'm always happy, I'm always la-di-da. I don't care about stuff like that, because granted, I sit in this house, I would journal and cry. I would sit down, pray to God, and I would uplift myself. Now, it is hard sometimes because getting affirmation from people can be a better feeling, but who will give you better affirmations than yourself? Because you know deep down what's going on with you. You know deep down the obstacles and the fights you had to get through to become this person, or for you to grow, or for you to glow. Like, so no one else can give you a better affirmation than yourself. Like, I think positive affirmations every morning, just waking up and be like, girl, you look good. Precious, Rain, you look good. And it helps. Like, it sounds cocky. Some people might think it's conceited. Let me be conceited then, because I love myself. I'm doing great. I'm happy. I woke up this morning. You're beautiful. You're smart. Little things like that matter. Also, another one that I think my peers don't think I do, but I really do. A lot of times, people who know me notice that I do take, even if it's a small emotional thing I'm going through, I will take a social media break. Now, for people, it might not work, which is your prerogative, because everyone is different. Everyone has their own thing going on. For me, taking a social media break, just stopping the noise, has helped me. Now, granted, sometimes it's very much influenced by personal things that I go through, but it helps heal those wounds. It helps me think, it helps me stop the noise and really concentrate, because social media influences a lot of things nowadays, and trying to stop that noise is really good, so you can meditate, you can think, you can just get things figured out for your own self. And just really, it's mostly the noise, because it's overwhelming. And for us to sit down here, and for me to sit down and post quotes and showing emotions and telling people that I'm sad, no, it doesn't help. So I'm gonna use my phone because I wrote a note down that really helps me. Self-love isn't a straight path, right? It's messy, it takes time. Some days are harder than others, but that doesn't mean you're failing. And essentially, that's what I really try to remember every day. Yes, I am not perfect. Today I'll make a mistake. For some people, being in my life, seeing me go back to certain mistakes can be frustrating. That's why sometimes it's good to just stay away from people and just do your own personal healing. And those who want to stay around you for your healing and your growth will stay, and that's a great support system. Those who don't want to stay, that's fine as well. Because feelings and just dealing with things is very overwhelming. Also in your 20s, when we're still trying to navigate life for our own personal selves, it's really something that I try to remember every day. And one of my other personal mantras, or like quotes I like to say, is one thing I remind myself is, you're worthy of love even on your hardest days. For those watching, please repeat after me. You are worthy of love even on your hard days. You are. So whatever it takes for you to get to that place you need to, keep the good energy. Try to have self-love, because nobody's gonna love you better than you. You love yourself, obviously, and God. But nobody is gonna love you better than you love yourself. And when I say you are worthy of love even on your hard days, that is not for people to love me. That's for me to love myself. I am worthy of love from myself, even when I feel disappointed about myself, or even if I feel disappointed by certain things, I am worthy of love. That's something I always try to remember. It takes everything to not have everything figured out in your 20s, and it's a growing path. It's about learning, and honestly, just figuring things out. You're always gonna learn something new. When you think you figured out everything, it's never going to be a straight path, like I said before. So in the comment section below, please let me know what is one way you try to have self-love, and also, one of your tips that you would like to share. Please put in the comment below and let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching.